It's amazing how much less tired you feel straight away after exercising.
Less tired?
Yeah, I actually feel less tired after doing exercise. Even I've just done 1 minute of exercise, 2 minutes, and I already feel heaps better.
So tired.
Oh, why don't you ask me to do it?
Okay, me too.
Come here, Sapphire. Come here. Hey. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, you know, your DNA changes. When you exercise frequently, it literally changes your DNA and it becomes a necessity. You literally need it. It's no longer optional. It's up there as sleep and eat and breathe. And sweat. It's up there. Like Russell Brand said that once. He said that yoga and meditation, they're not optional. They are essential attributes of maintaining basic physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Isn't it funny? I forgot what I was going to say. Russell Brand, spiritual well-being. Doesn't matter. Sienna. Hi, Sienna. You know, I was watching a Sneeko podcast today, and they were saying that girls with tattoos of butterflies are usually highly, highly promiscuous and therefore should be strongly avoided. So a butterfly is the unspoken street symbol of promiscuousness. And as you know, most men really do not like promiscuous women. John, what specifically? What's your issue, John? Instead of making these vague comments, John, all you're doing is you're making me stronger. So someone in the comment section had a butterfly in her name, and then it reminded me of this podcast I seen today that talked about how girls with butterfly tattoos are usually very promiscuous. What don't you understand, John? But you're being vague, John. Don't you understand, John? You're not making any sense, John, because all you're doing is just making these objective, you're just making these broad, sweeping statements. Be specific. What exactly is your emotional problem with me? It's like me just saying, I just don't like you. I have no reason why I don't like you. I just don't like it. You didn't give any advice. You did nothing. All you've done is just showing that you're jealous and you have no personality. I was literally just referencing. How is it not making sense to reference what I heard on a podcast? I didn't make the claim. I'm just reiterating it. And if you don't like it, change the channel. I'm not attacking you, John. Now you've been overly sensitive, John. All I'm saying is you didn't make any sense. You didn't have any facts. You just made a sweeping claim. You just said that I don't make any sense, but you didn't. That's not attacking. Attacking is come up to you like this. I can't hurt you through the screen, you know that. You're safe. You're really safe behind the screen. How's everyone else's day doing? John's just wasting everyone's time. So I've literally been on the live for 2 minutes, and all I heard on a podcast that girls with butterfly tattoos are promiscuous, and then you got really upset. So what's the problem? Raining cats and dogs. Who else is doing some weights now? My only one. Am I the only one? Am I the only one? Oh, why does it keep doing that? No one's attacking you, John. You're safe. I'm not your daddy. I'm not telling you off. People are coming all the time. Jason Shepherd just joined. Old mate Jason. I'm your what friend? Best friend? No, you're not, mate. How many people do you have in your life? He reminds me of this guy I knew once. We were driving my EB 1992 XR6 Falcon, and I had about 5 guys in the car. This was Australia Day, 2009, and he was like, "Look at this car, man. It's a Ford. What a shit car. You know, it's just a straight 6-cylinder." And he was like, "Oh, get a better car." And I was like, "What's your car, bruv? What's your car? Get it? You have no right to try and criticize someone for giving it a go when you haven't even given it a go yourself." And TikTok isn't about making friends. It's about saving the video, the recordings, putting them on YouTube after. You'll be on YouTube tomorrow. Which I highly recommend you go check out, John. You might learn something, John. Go to YouTube, Chevy the Human. John, you're a very jealous boy. I feel for you, John. I hope you get the help you need. I'd start with working out. Another jealous little boy. David and John, sitting in the tree, wishing they were CHEVY. Well, then you should leave. If you don't like what you see, I suggest you leave. You know, you're getting this for free, you know. It's like going up to Walmart and you're trying a little bit of, like a new edamame beans, and you have one, and then you stick around for 25 minutes to tell the person how much you don't like the beans. It's like, if you don't like the sample, jog on, brother. Nothing's holding you down here. I dropped in you berating John Ah, you guys don't make any sense. All I said to John is that he didn't make any sense because he wasn't making any claims, any facts. He was just making these sweeping, subjective remarks. Ah, you guys are in Fantasyland. You actually really want me to attack you because you feel a sense of remorse from your poor lifestyle decisions, and you want me to be like a disciplinary figure. Are you going to the gym? I see. It should be inside your car in the center dash. Which class are you doing? Just gym. You seem a bit tired. Sure you should go? Yeah. You know, I had a TikTok friend. She sent me a message today, and it was a quote from the Bible, and it was from Timothy, and it was saying in end times that men will just be slanderous without any substance, and they'll just seek pleasure over morality at all costs. Oh, someone's confronted. You know, John, I suggest that you change the channel, because the internet, I don't know if you realize this, but it's pretty big. There's a lot more stuff than just me. Because the internet, I don't know if you realize this, but it's pretty big. There's a lot more stuff than just me. And it's not your cup of tea. I suggest you leave. Take Dave with you. You guys can go try some more edamame beans. Tag the internet's tiny, bro. Sorry, there's some watermarks on my screen and I can't be bothered. I can't read what you're saying. You should join the live and we can actually see your beautiful face. And we can talk man to man. But if we leave, you have no viewers. Aussie Annie just joined, and I only just started, so cut me some slack there, big fellas. I know you guys are so successful and all, but not everyone can be as good as you, David. Not everyone's as good as you, David. This is my apprenticeship. I'm getting a really good education from you fellas right now. Teach us how to be successful like you. Watch my videos. Well, I'll start with doing resistance exercise at least 5 days a week for at least 40 minutes. Have a high protein, low carbohydrate diet. And avoid seed oils, processed sugar, alcohol, prescription drugs, pornography. Make sure you get 8 hours of sleep a night. And realize that a lot of music, a lot of mainstream music, has been designed to promote generate values to you. Don't make false idols. When you choose a wife, make sure she's loyal, pure, ambitious, loving. Get plenty of sunlight. Stay away from Bluetooth headphones. Filtered water, no fluoride. And be willing to be made fun of in the pursuit of masculine excellence. If you're going to get a burger, only eat half the bread. Limit your caffeine intake, and definitely no like sugary drinks or even because bread is actually highly inflammatory, and actually cancer cannot grow in a non-inflammatory environment. And also, when you mix bread with protein, it takes away the ability to get the most protein and iron out of the meat itself. So you want to minimize the complex processed carbohydrates with your protein intake. That way you can actually absorb the nutrients of the meat. I'm not waiting for you, John. Also, make sure you're born into good genes. Make sure that, well, you can't really change this, but you can change your life. Make sure you choose an attractive wife with low genetic defects. No asthma. Like, make sure she's symmetrical in her features and not too short, not too tall. Low body count, under 2. And not materialistic. I mean, they must enjoy the fine things in life, like, pate, sparkling water, clean bed sheets, but you don't want them to be hyper materialistic, like they throw out their dress every time they wear it. Mate, David, you just spent the first 10 minutes just backing me out for only having 2 people on there. So let's not throw around allegations of harshness, shall we? No one died and made you the arbiter of harshness. So let's just settle our chooks in the roost. Another thing, when you're buying a car, you want to aim for 1995 to 2005. That was the best years for cars. You don't want to have too much electronics in there. More things can go wrong. And they just really focused on making plastic goods after that. And it was just less safe in a crash. Alright, safe in a crash. That's it. That's it. You just get to hear the sweet words of Chevy Ramble ever again. He is no longer a part of our lives. Simple as that. You don't want to offer anything. You just want to be a gamma male and complain. You don't get the right to be in the discussion room. Alright. If you're going to have alcohol, aim to have it quite a few hours before bedtime. The closest you have it before bed, the more it's going to affect your sleep. So if you're going to have alcohol, make sure you have it around the day. And try to aim for no more than 2 to 3 standard drinks. Because it's actually really empowering when you go to a social situation and you use your own confidence as opposed to chemical confidence. It's a very empowering experience. And like yesterday morning, I literally rolled out of bed, put up my water bottle, and started doing bench press. I didn't even have any coffee or tea, nothing. So you have a lot of power inside. You don't need to have caffeine in order to get the energy to work out. Another way to be successful is to start young. Like when I was 24 when I met my wife, and she wasn't the best at banter or like gregarious party skills, but we actually helped each other grow. So she was a lot more nerdy when I first met her, and she's become a lot more gregarious because as a director, all you need is a good blank slate with no history, and you can groom them to be exactly and mold them exactly as you like. Not a party girl, John. That's it. And now you're banned for life. John May. My goodness. No wonder he was so upset. Poor fella. Well, that's a shame, Marnie, because unfortunately, the worst part about addiction is not what you think. It's not the physical side effects. It's not the money. It's not the smell. It's not how it makes you look. What the problem is with addiction is that it teaches your brain to not look for the joy in every situation. It teaches you to always look forward to the future. And a mindfulness technique, which I do in my work in dialectic behavioral therapy, is that you want to aim to be in the present at all times, which means any activity you're in, you relish it. You're taking a dog for a walk, you're making biscuits, you're doing Excel spreadsheets. Look for the joy in every situation. Just notice the feeling of the keyboard beneath your fingers. Listen to all the sounds of the birds on the street. Smell your colleague's fish curry cooking. Do some Om chanting. Om. That's so real though. That's why I disbanded the two gentlemen before, because they were so intimidated and they were just so toxically negative and just being so emotional without any facts. I don't mind being criticized if you separate facts from emotion. But when you're just pure emotion and no facts, you're wasting everyone's time. And I have a lot to give. I have a lot of love to give. And it's a shame to just be like bickering in this like schoolyard style dynamics when there's actually really enlightened conversations to be had, and I want to learn from you as well. And obviously, Lani, weed's probably the least side effects of any other drug, but the problem is, because you can do it during most activities, it interferes because of the fact that it is so applicable to many situations. It's more likely to be abused, whereas alcohol is a time and a place. Most people feel a bit uncomfortable about, just having a six-pack on the way to work on a Monday. But the problem with buds is that you can enjoy it at a funeral, you can enjoy it at the police station, at a maths test, on a ski resort, in surgery. So that's the problem with it, is that it's so transferable and cross-culturally valid that it can interfere with your life that way. And just being a creature of habit is ineffective, because variety is the spice of life. And unfortunately, one of the worst side effects of cannabis abuse is its effect to short-term memory. And where are we without our memories? There's nothing more sweeter than just basking in the glory of your memories. And weed takes that away. So you want to aim for sobriety. Sobriety is king. And it makes your skin better. And after a couple of weeks, it's really hard to hear. Don't apologize. Don't apologize for telling the truth. Save your sorries. But you know what, Lani? I guarantee you, the main reason why you have this issue is because you've got weak men in your life who've been a bad role model. And I guarantee you, if you had a father who you respected and loved, and who had high morality, high impulse control. How about now? Is it better now? Yeah, see? I knew it. I knew you didn't have a dad who you respected and loved. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been escaping from reality. But in your dad's defense, I've actually worked this out with my cousin. Most reason why people have poor mental health and they're poor role models for their children, it all comes back to World War II. It all comes back to unresolved trauma from World War II. That's literally, most of people's problems can be traced back from their parents who got all of their trauma from World War II. And that's why I'm really anti-war, because then the ripple effects are tremendous. Intergenerational trauma is huge. Not to mention, it's not just the shell shock, it's also the fact that, why did we go to war? Who was the real bad guy? Was it just a eugenics program? Man, exercise and hold this stupid phone. Sorry, phone, I didn't call you stupid. Can you still hear me, guys? What happened? Well, a couple of gentlemen, about 10 minutes ago when I first started this live, they were asking me, they were in like really snarky, but they were saying, oh, how do I get to be like you? I mean, I know I'm not that special, but I mean, I'm on my road. Like, I'm at 3 out of 10, but 3 out of 10 is still better than 0. And I was like, so start off by saying things like, low carb diet, lots of protein, lots of fruit, some vegetables. Try to avoid highly processed seed oils. And then I've just been kind of listing off techniques for spiritual, physical, and emotional well-being. But and then we went on the topic of Lani, because she said that she's slightly uncomfortable with some of the people she knows and herself who dabbled in abusing cannabis. And she realized there's some negative side effects, not just for herself, but for society as a whole. And I actually got a HD in drugs when I was at university. I did my Bachelor of Psychology, because it's interesting to me. And I did well in my assignments. And the university staff at Murdoch University in Perth said it was the best. I mean, it ticked all the boxes, just the structure, the grammar, the research. It was all on point. You couldn't get any better. So you can trust me. Well, I mean, I'd say that's a strong thing to say. I need change. Never say never. I mean, to me, it seems like better advice to say, just be critical. Be critical. Like, you can be looking for reasons. Great, Amazon. Thanks for distracting from the great conversation. Never go through life looking for reasons that you don't fit in. Well, you can still research. It doesn't mean you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You don't just assume that it's all one thing. It's always 50 shades of complications. It's always a dialectic situation. There's always good and evil in every aspect. You can't just be like, oh, the reason why I don't fit in is because my mum's dad had PTSD from World War II, It's not as simple as that. It's a complex. A lot of the situations you're in, mate, you know what, Amazon, you're banned for life. Why do they always look like this? Why is it they always look like this? You never, ever, 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 ever get someone with symmetrical facial features who's just been a total gamma male. Just pure negativity, no fact, always this rapid emotion, extreme emotion. Yeah. So you can still look for patterns, you can still look for reason, but you don't want to throw causations at people. And like when I was in my early 20s and late teens, I blamed my father and mother for taking me to South Korea to be homeschooled during high school, because I missed out on what a very, very insightful comment, Bobson. You're just never the same after you comment. But then I realized it was also a blessing. Yes, I was really lonely as a teenager, being homeschooled, all alone in an apartment in the countryside. But the positive aspect was that I didn't have to try and fit in. I didn't have to lie at who I am. So yes, at the time it was very tough, but now I wouldn't change a thing. Those years of clinical depression, that bulimia nervosa I had, that extreme, crippling loneliness made me the man I am today. So thank Christ for that. Thank Christ for all the adversity I went through. All the years of despair and loneliness was for a reason. It made me have extreme conviction and passion now to give back to my community. That's it, Jeremy's back. Back again. Chevy's back. Tell your friends Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? La, 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 la. Harry Yates. It makes me want to have a major date. Very high in fiber. My wife is reading this book on nutrition right now, and it's recommending she has 5 dates a day. Not 4, not 6, but 5 dates a day for her health. Oh, it feels so good to have unwanted desire gamma males out of the chat. It's just like so much better to have effective conversation. It's wonderful. I feel like I'm meditating right now. I feel like I'm on a cloud. Termakasa. A lot of life. This sounds good. I'm gonna read this slowly. I'm so grateful for these comments. God, I really love these people on this chat right now. I want you all to have 10 babies. A lot of life is emptying one's soul out. I think giving unconditionally is the way to fill it back. Wow, that's profound. I see what you're coming from, but you still have to save some fuel in the tank for yourself. I actually did that in today at my work. I talked about how in order to love others, you need to love yourself, and that means providing adequate amount of tuning your engine. You change the oils in your car, you look after yourself, you do resistance exercise, you drink fluoride-free water, high protein, low carbohydrate diet, get 8 hours of sleep, get a person to love and marry, have children with who you love and trust. I am a peer-based group support facilitator. I mainly do dialectic behavioral therapy, but I also do mindfulness groups and art-based groups as well. And on weekends, I do support work for an Indigenous middle-aged woman in Wellington Point in Brisbane. And we have yarns, talk about Australian culture, music, family, the joy of children. 18 years. Can feel them all. Get on your knees. Now I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with the broke. Ah, I need change. You know what? That breaks my heart. That breaks my heart to see a good woman like yourself, or man, just burn the candle at both ends and just giving and giving. But you have to make time for self-pampering. You have to go to the spa. You have to be loved. You have to read books. You have to have a hot chocolate. You have to have a beautiful ribeye steak every couple of weeks, you know? You have to earthing. You have to put your feet into the earth every day for at least 10 minutes. Absorb Mother Nature's gifts. You need to do that. Like on a plane, I wouldn't say so, Harry. I'd say I'm more like a Delta or an Omega. I'm happy to follow orders. I like a good leader, but the problem is, most of the good alphas in this world are too busy playing sports, or chasing girls, objectifying women, or they're hedonistic. They are poisoning themselves with alcohol and other drugs. And so all the alphas are busy, nowhere to be found. So people like me, better, Delta males. Rachel, look, I really don't think that you're ready for me yet. I'll give you a go in a while, but I don't think that that's a really appropriate place for you. But I wish you well, Rachel. But you're banned for 12 months. Oh, Rachel, we go just the other day. What happened is we got into the conversation of eugenics program in the Western world. whereby there's a huge agenda to force women to push their maternal energy into cats and dogs. And unfortunately, I just lost 3 people. I don't care. This is all about YouTube anyway. YouTube where it's at. TikTok is dead. TikTok's fine. But lately I've been doing better on YouTube. I'm good, thanks. Thanks for asking. But yeah, I'll go back to why I banned that lady. It's because she's really obsessed with being like, oh, it's totally fine for dogs to be your surrogate children. But, and also, her display picture is of her with her dog. And so, subconsciously, and consciously, she is projecting the normalization of devoting thy maternal instinct into non-offspring. Cats and dogs are not your family. They will not be there to carry on the torch. They will not pay taxes. They will not live and breathe. They have not your genetics. And there is like an agenda through Netflix and social media and influencers to trick you, to trick your emotional urges into the wrong direction. And she was very passionate about that. And she had a lot of, understandably, I was someone to vent to. And so it's just not the right place, because I understand, look, I'm a, middle-class white male with symmetrical features, and I'm fairly outgoing, so she thinks I can take it. She thinks, you know what, he's a free punching bag. Chevy, he's a free punching bag. Hell yeah. But the thing is, I don't really feel like it, I don't really feel like being a punching bag. I'll do it when I feel like it, but not today. Not today. I'm actually really well. Yeah. It's part of a eugenics program. Bill Gates' father, he actually wrote a book on the fact that he believes that this world, the only Earth, would be better off with 500 million people. And so he wrote techniques on how to cull the human race from 9 billion down to a manageable 500 million. And I don't support that. I think that every human has something to offer, and that murder is never justified unless someone's like attacking you, literally like at your front door, with a knife. Otherwise, I think every human has something to offer, and they shouldn't be killed. And so, it sounds complicated, but I banned that woman because she's contributing to the culling of the human race. Thanos. Who's Thanos? Money Frog. Let me go back to my original discussion. There was a pretty good flow, actually. I was in flow state. And I was discussing techniques and how to be successful. And successful to me means that you're healthy physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It means you have an element of status amongst your community. It means you're providing offspring so that your beautiful DNA can carry on the torch to 2100 and 2200 and beyond. It also means that you're respected by your colleagues and that you're quite kind. And it means that you're not having addictions, and you're basically giving more to your community than you're taking. That's all it means to be successful to me. Yeah. Well, I don't really agree with that. I see where they're coming from. I see where their intention is, but don't you see, though? There's people smarter than you and me who are basically doing that in a sneaky way. The fact that, all this heavily processed food marketed towards children, it's basically a way to develop all of these autoimmune problems and make them susceptible to cancer. You know, it's basically the preventative medicine is so understudied. It's a sneaky way to cull off the human race is by making them do it themselves. You know, it's like vampires. They have to be invited in. So most times evil, there's like laws of the universe. Oh wow, Brendo, such an insightful comment. And now you're banned for life. You know, I swear, most of these trolls with their useless, like highly crude sexual comments, the entire point of them is just to ruin the train of thought. Because there's nothing that low vibrational males like more than to see high status males in the gutter. But females too. People get really excited at the idea of someone just damaging something. Because it's much easier to destroy than it is to build. Because you think about if you're building a house, right? How long does it take to build a house? Versus how long does it take to destroy a house? The profit cycle of the West works really well if you have sick people. Not so good if they're dead. Yes! I need change. You are a smart cookie. I hope you give yourself a little hug. Just give yourself a little hug. You deserve it. You're onto it. You're one of the good ones. It makes so much more sense to have sick people because it also, what are they doing? The sick people, they're on Centrelink, they're on welfare, and the money goes straight back into the community. That's why I think it's a shame to be so focused on like these crappy Netflix shows, because what real life is way more fascinating than fiction. If you can notice patterns and trends and historical milestones, then you don't need to be obsessed with Star Wars and Star Trek, because non-fiction is even more greater and more fulfilling than fiction. Imagine if tomorrow everyone decided no more drinking alcohol, no more large double McMeals with extra cream, extra sugar. Everyone started going to bed at 10:30. People started drinking fluoride-free water. People stopped drinking white refined floury foods. If people stopped worshipping false idols, being told by celebrities how to act, these soulless, demonic, children's blood drinking celebrities telling you how to act and live. If you weren't forced to worship celebrities, how different would life be? Tomorrow, how many businesses would go out of business if people stopped poisoning themselves to live? It's like that Black Sabbath song. Killing yourself to live. Killing yourself to live. So, yeah, that's a very philosophical comment that you're better off having sick people just die very, very slowly than to just do it in one foul swoop. And like, Hollywood has been one of the main... thank you very much. I don't think so. I just think that because I know what sadness is like and pain, that I don't really care about people just making